Welcome, everybody. This evening, I have the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Trocco Coates. We're going to be discussing how it felt to be a felon, to be an ex-felon. Is it an ex-felon? Am I right to say an ex-felon?
Yep, you're right about that.
I want to thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak with you and you spending time with me tonight. So thanks a lot.
No problem.
What is a felon?
Well, a felon is when you commit a crime, and when you commit the crime, you gotta do time, accept the consequences and the punishment behind it. And once you get that number on your head, you're always gonna have that number for the rest of your life. That's a number you'll never forget.
So am I correct in assuming that is a felon and just going to jail, is that the same thing?
No, felon is basically that's something that when they put on your record, it makes it harder for you to get government jobs. It makes it harder for you to get good paying jobs. It makes it a lot of difficult for you to maintain employment. But really, felonies don't mean nothing, bro.
Okay. And so what happened to you? Like what even landed you to be locked up, to get locked up?
Well, I was back in the day. I was hanging with the wrong crowd, being young and dumb, want to be Mr. Cool Guy. Then I did some in VA, first degree burglary, first degree armed robbery, and grand larceny. And they caught up with me. And I was like, it is what it is.
Wow. So how old were you? How old were you when you got locked up?
I was 18. I just turned 18 when I got locked up. I didn't come home until I was 23 years old.
So you served 5 years?
Yep.
And I can only imagine that it was not easy.
Nah. Being waking up first thing in the morning, looking over the back of your shoulders, especially, oh Lord, especially, man, this makes my memories, man. Fairfax, the worst jail in the United States of America, you get locked up in, Fairfax County Adult Detention Center.
Say it again.
You don't want to go to the worst jail in the United States of America. You get locked up in Fairfax County Adult Detention Center.
That's in Virginia?
That's in Virginia, Fairfax County.
Wow. Why you say that? Like, why you say that's the worst? Why that as opposed to all of them being the worst? Like, why that in particular?
That's the only jail that I know lock you out your cell for the remainder of the whole entire day and make you sleep on a concrete floor like a caged animal.
Wow.
Basically, they wake you up at 7:30 in the morning, lock you out your cell 30 in the afternoon.
That's messed up.
You gotta sleep on a concrete steel, hard floors.
Then
the worst is punishment, because once you get in there and you get in a fight, they send you down to 8th floor, put you on disciplinary segregation.
Mm-hmm.
When you get
what does that mean? Like, what does that mean when you get sent in?
That's when you like get in trouble, insubordination. When you get in trouble, get too many write-ups, get in a fight in the park, something like that in the block. They remove you from the park and put you in a hole. When they put you in a hole, you wait on administrative segregation for probably like a week. Then you go for the hearing. 9 times 10, the hearing, they're gonna find you guilty. If they say if they can find you guilty, they're gonna give you 15 days in a hole.
Why you say 9 times out of 10 they're gonna find you guilty? Like what? Why you say that?
Because they always look at you as the one that started trouble and troublemaker.
Okay. Just by the fact that you're locked up. I mean,
that's by the fact you locked up. It doesn't matter who started the fight. You're both going in the hole of segregation.
But I mean, isn't that the right thing to do? I mean, if you're in there fighting, I mean, I don't think it's just like school. Both people get reprimanded.
Yep, they don't matter who started the fight. They're gonna put you in the hole and put you on disciplinary segregation 15 days. This is what they do when they put you in the hole for disciplinary segregation 15 days. They feed you 3 meals.
Uh-huh.
But these are not actually 3 meals. They bring bag, no cell dough, big blob,
Your audio going in and out.
Huh?
Your audio when you talk going in and out.
I said they bring you. Hold on.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
I said when they come to your cell door, right?
There you go. That sounds better.
They bring you a big blob of carrots, spinach, rice, no seasoning with it, none of that, and bread smushed up all together, cooked, greasy as hell, patty, force you to eat that 3 times a day.
The same meal.
The same
That's
exact.
when you're in seg though. You said right.
That's when you're in disciplinary segregation. Yes.
Okay,
The
so that's part of
meal.
that's part of your discipline. Am
That's
I correct?
true too. No, that's true too. But no, it's another catch too. No.
Okay.
Okay, when you're on disciplinary segregation, that first loaf, first thing in the morning, 20 fans come up in that jump. Every part. Take the cell down, they take the mattress away from you, they take the sheets away from you, they take everything away from you. They put you in the cell by yourself and you sleeping on a concrete slab for 12, 13 hours. And they give your mattress back at 8 o'clock at night.
Wow. So you literally just sit there for 12 or 13 hours on concrete.
On concrete, and sleeping on concrete.
I mean, now that becomes a little too much right there.
They go hard. Go hard in here.
I mean, although I do understand that we have choices that we make that put ourselves there, to treat somebody like they're not a human, I don't agree with that. I mean, to put somebody on a concrete floor for 12 to 13 hours is inhumane.
Yep. That's what they do. They put you.
That's
They
not
put
cool.
you on the concrete. They put you on the concrete floor. You got to sleep on a concrete slab for 13 to 14 hours. Once they take your mattress away from you at 5:30 in the morning, you're not getting that mattress back until 8 o'clock at night.
Damn. That I mean, you listen, that alone right there makes somebody not want to go. Just the thought, because I mean, you never know if you're going to get in fight because people try you walking around. So just imagine being cramped in a certain space.
Oh yeah, always people try. Always people try you. They try you every day. When I used to go in there, I used to look at my shoulders. I had Bama trying me every single day. And the most things you need to stay away with when you locked up is that phone and that card table.
Yeah.
They get you in trouble for real.
Why you say that?
Because a lot of people like to be on the phone all day. And people bum rush the phone. They sit there hold the phone for hours. Especially you got a lot of people to gamble on there.
So y'all can literally get on the phone and just stay on the phone. I thought you had like a certain time frame that you had to be on.
No. They can be on the phone for 30 minutes and hang up and call right back.
Okay.
They be doing that. They get on the phone 30 minutes and hang right up and come on the phone right back.
So that's how fights break out, because you can be in line waiting for the phone and somebody else know you, but they know you're waiting, but they just continue to talk. Is it kind of structured where like a correctional officer or an officer says, okay, you've had your time? No?
Nope.
Wow. So that's definitely going to cause a fight.
Everything's out open. They basically said you on your own. Once they put you around that door, you on your own. Then we sit here and babysit. That's all we doing.
Not cool. I mean, that's
they got two different sides in Fairfax County. They got the old side, they got the new side. The new side, they got deputies that sit in the park. They're not actually correctional officers. They actually deputies.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
They actually deputies. And the deputies sit there, they can see. The one thing about Fairfax County Jail is that they deputies say if you get a charge in there, they can automatically charge you a street charge because they actually work for the county.
Okay.
It's not like Upper Marlboro. Upper Marlboro, they really can't do nothing. But you got to do some real service to get a street charge.
For y'all out there that's listening, when he says Upper Marlboro, we're talking about Upper Marlboro, Maryland. And you served your time in Virginia, am I correct?
That's
you served
correct,
all of your time in Virginia?
All my time in Virginia, yes.
Okay. Do you feel like you were reformed? Like, do you feel like being in jail really helps? And if so, tell me what type of programs in your case like that you were offered or that you took advantage of that did help?
Well, GED, that's number one.
Okay.
Ready in Recovery, that's number two.
What is Ready in Recovery?
Basically, it's a program to get you ready. They put you in a year before you leave. to get you ready to come back to society.
Okay, that's good.
So they put all the ELS people in the pod. It's ready to go home real soon, and they put them in the program. We all take classes, all go in the pod, and chilling around the block and all of that. We all got a group session, certain times. We all do schoolwork and all that stuff. We get us ready to go back to society.
Okay, that sounds good. And then what was
So
the other thing?
basically, it's a reentry program. That's what it's called. It's a reentry program.
Reentry into society.
Society, yes.
Okay. And do you feel like those? I know the GED helps because I mean that's something that you at least need to get that to get a job. But the what was it called again? The reentry program.
Reentry program, yes.
Do you feel like that helped you? And what type of things did you learn in that program?
I mean, it helped me out to a certain extent, but once I got home, I realized like I was free. When I was free, because being behind them cell doors really changed.
Mm-hmm.
When you get really told when to eat, use the bathroom, lock down your cell when you got to take a shower, all that stuff. When you've been used to that for almost 5 years, it's like when you come home, you don't know what to do. I tell you the first thing, I didn't know what to do, but I remember a whole bunch of stuff. I remember the first night I got out. That was July. It was July 1st. I don't remember the day I got out. That's crazy.
Hey, you out?
I don't remember the day I got out, but I know when I got out.
You remember the day, you just don't remember the date, right? Because I bet you remember the day you got out.
Yeah. I don't remember the date. When I came home, they took me to Petersburg. I left from Sussex State Penitentiary. I was housed with a death row inmates at. And you might have heard, like I say, Lee Malvo.
Yeah.
Lee Malvo it was in the same system I was in.
Lee Malvo, for those who don't know, was one of the snipers of DC snipers, right? Okay.
And Muhammad, which is his father,
right?
I was housed at the compound when he was holding it.
Okay.
Which was where the death row inmates at. And I was actually housed too when they executed him at too, which is Greensville Correctional Facility.
Okay.
And I remember when I came home, I ain't gonna lie, when they let me on the bed session one, I kissed the ground. I'm like, man, I'm free. I was like, I'm free. I can't believe I kept looking back. I'm like, man, is this real, man?
Just a little bit you told me that goes on, that went on, or that goes on that you went through. I would have kissed the ground when I got out. I mean, I couldn't even imagine spending 5 years living like that.
I ain't gonna lie.
Do you feel like it messed with your mental being locked up that long? Do you feel like it did something to you that would never be the same mentally?
A little bit, but it changed my mind time of thinking, and process of thinking.
Right. And when you say that, what do you mean by your process of thinking? What do you mean?
Use smart decisions and think wisely before you use your actions.
Okay. Good.
Because your actions and your instincts will always get you in trouble. It's always somewhere. Absolutely. And there's a lot of people out here that don't think. There's a lot of people that I haven't seen. Came home, they must love being back in there. They go right back less than 2 months later. I'm like, you're a damn fool.
Yeah. And that was my next question to you. So when you did get home, were you because I can imagine looking for a job wasn't the easiest thing.
Yeah, it wasn't the easiest thing for me. It wasn't the easiest thing for me at all. When I came home, I went to my daughter's mother's house, and that was a whole other issue there too as well. And I got over. I stayed there for probably 2-3 months. I left. I was homeless. I was running in and out of shelter for 2 years before I got myself together. And I got a job at Safeway. I worked at the Safeway for 3 years. I did overnight stocking. I did produce, meat department, seafood department. I did everything you name it. I did it.
That's what's up. That's
I
what's up.
did it. Then I went to Frederick, Maryland. When I went to Frederick, Maryland, the process of working with Safeway, I went to Frederick, Maryland. I was making some long decisions up there in 2015. I got locked up for false address.
Paul, you got locked up again in 2015, and this was, of course, after you had been home from doing
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
And now you're on a path of doing the right thing. And when I say the right thing, I mean doing what society calls normal by working.
By
And
working out.
right, and now you said you got locked up again, and what was the reason?
For false address.
False of address.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
one
probation fraud.
little slip up.
And one little step up can get you jammed up quick. They locked me up for 6 months, had me in Frederick, Maryland for 6 months. They transferred me to Virginia. Then I thought Virginia was gonna give me some more time. But then they was like, nah, we're gonna give you time served. I'm like, yes. They released me that time. I came home.
Mhm.
I was back in and out of shelter again. Then I got myself another job, working back at Safeway again.
So they rehired you.
Yeah, they rehired me. Yeah, I went to another store, they rehired me.
Shout out to Safeway.
And they rehired me. And
Shout out to
once
Safeway, because a lot of jobs, they won't even hire you with you having a record, right?
yeah, a lot of jobs don't hire you a record. But actually they will. You know
Okay.
why?
Why?
Because it's tax write-off.
Okay.
The tax
But
write-off.
I mean, we all know that people go in and fill out an application, and I'm pretty sure they hesitate to check that box.
Oh yeah, I do
They
too.
really
I do too.
criminal.
Everybody do too. Everybody do.
Right.
Everybody do. Trust me,
Right.
everybody do. We all that perfect. Everybody does. Everybody checks that box. Hesitate to check that box. Like you because you're a felon. And 9 times 10 people put no.
Right.
You tell them that in the interview. You tell them that in the interview. You explain to them in the interview so they can see you. For they won't be judging. Oh yeah, he's convicted of a felon. We're not gonna hire this guy. So
but you don't even get a chance.
Yeah, get that chance to shoot your shot when you get in the interview and let them know, like, look, I know I'm not perfect. I did some things in the past. You might find some more, Joe, but I'm telling you, I promise you, I'm the guy for you. I'm the guy that's gonna work for you. I'm the guy that's gonna rely for you, come for you.
Did that work for you? So other than Safeway, had you ever been turned down once you got out and you tried to get a job? Were you ever turned down?
Really.
Huh?
Not really.
Oh, that's a good thing. So you didn't experience the negative. So you didn't experience the negative side of getting out as far as the workforce. You kind of transition into the workforce in a good way.
In a good way, yeah. In a good way. And I was proud. I was happy about that. Because after I went for Safeway, I went and got myself a place. I was renting myself a room out in Virginia. In Alexandria. Mm-hmm. I was renting myself a room for there almost maybe 6 to 8 months. I was going back and forth from Rockville all the way to Virginia every single day, overnight. Then I left there because they had a lot of drama there and the landlord was slummy and all that stuff. So I left there and went back to my sister's house. Mm-hmm. Then I was living there for a while. Then I was going back and forth to work.
And just living on a straight and narrow.
And going back and forth to work. And once I transferred from Rockville, I transferred to Malvern Square in Virginia. I used to literally walk to work from Oxon Hill, Maryland, Virginia.
To what part of Virginia?
Alexandria, Virginia.
That's what's up. But you know what? I mean, it's funny now looking back, but that's what I call determination, because you know why? And this was after you had gotten out, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I say that's determination, because when you're faced with something like that and you've already lived a certain life and already have kind of ventured on that criminal side, those thoughts are there, because it was a life that you had lived. And so it's easy to stray back to that when times are bad. So I commend you for taking that walk every day and going to work and still staying focused on the right way, staying on the right path. Because you could have strayed.
I could have strayed a long time ago, but I was like, man, I can't do it because I got my daughter. Then every time I think about my daughter, I'm like, man, I can't leave her like this. I can't at all. Then I stayed up there, stayed with Safeway for like 3 years. Then I decided to leave and transition to a new place because I met my uncle back up there because I ain't seen my uncle in a long, long time.
Mhm.
They came and see me when I was renting the place out, and I was at Virginia. It's like, yeah, nephew, you should come down there and come see me. I'm in North Carolina. So I came down here in North Carolina. That's where I originally resigned at now. I came out here. That was October the 13th, 2016 when I came down here. I'm like, okay, I like it down here. I like it down here. It's nice down here. I stayed for like a week down here. I was just straight chilling down here.
Mhm.
Then next thing I know, I went back home, got to working. Then I come back again in November.
Mhm.
I come back again in November. So
Mhm.
I'm like, okay. Then I went back, and once I came back down here in November, I left and went back and started working for like 3 months, all the way up to 3, 4 months, all the way up to March.
Mhm.
March of 2017, March the 25th of 2017. I say, forget it. I packed my bag, got on the Amtrak, and came straight down here and stayed at my grandmother's house.
That's what's up.
Stayed at my grandma's house. I told my grandmother when I came here, she asked me, do I want a room? I'm like, I don't need no room. I sleep on the couch. I'm not trying to get comfortable. I'm
Yeah,
down here.
that's what's
I'm just
up.
trying to get my place,
That's what a
apartment,
man. That's what
get
a
an apartment,
man.
and do what I need to do.
Yes, yes, exactly, and that's what. And I use that word very loosely. Or, I don't use that word very loosely. I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. That's what a man, as I look in the camera, does. A man says, nah, I don't need a room. Just let me lay on the sofa because you know what? I'm not staying long. You had a goal. That's when you know that you have a goal and a focus because you weren't even trying to get comfortable. So I commend you again for that. You could have kind of got out and been a slouch. Let me go back a little bit. When you mentioned you came down and visited your uncle and everything before you left back in Washington, D.C., were you ever tempted by any of your friends who knew, or so-called friends that knew you had already been there and you're not trying to go down that path again, but yet and still they keep trying to pull you that way?
No, I wasn't. Not at all.
Good.
Not at all. Because once I left, I ain't never come back. I never
No,
came back.
before you left, so you know how you got out and you go out, you get out, and were you still around those same people that you
Oh no.
left?
I was down around them people. Nah,
Okay,
I let
good.
them people alone. I was done with them people. I'm like, no.
So that's something to tell everybody else right there that separated you. So listen to me, y'all. He just said something key for anybody who's ever been locked up that's out there. Um, Stay away from the people that you were around that put you there in the
What
first
you
place.
there
He
for?
didn't put you there. You made your own
I,
decisions.
I'm gonna tell you about this. Once you get locked up behind the walls, your friends on that street, they ain't gonna see no money. They ain't gonna see you no put no money in your books. They ain't gonna write you no letters.
The
They ain't gonna
ones
answer
that
no
you
phone
thought were your
calls.
friends.
The ones you thought with your friends, they
Right.
gonna turn your back on you.
Right.
Then when you get out, they wanna be, oh, what's up, man? What's up, man? You know, my
Exactly.
nigga, what was you at 4 years, nigga?
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
was nowhere to be found. You ain't seen no money on my books. You ain't do none of that, bro.
Right.
Like, where was you at?
And that's what I'm talking about. And that's not a friend. That's not family. I'll tell anybody, family and friends are the ones that would try to take you from DC and say, you know what, man, why don't you come out here and see what life would be out, to try and start anew and get away from the old, and I commend you for doing that because a lot of people wouldn't even have taken advantage of that. So now I know I don't want to stop your story. So you finally are in North Carolina and you're on your grandmother's sofa.
All right. When I was on my grandmother's stuff, I told my grandfather, he's like, how long you gonna stay here? I'm staying here for 8 months. I'm about to get me a place and I'm about to be gone. Now, mind you, I had my cousin staying there too. He stayed there longer than me. He was there for me. And he convicted fella too. I was telling him, I'm like, look, man, get you a job, bro. He's like, man, it's hard for me to get a job. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Soon as I got out there, the very couple of days I started working with a temp agency, and I was working at like a little car place and all that stuff. So I didn't like it, so I was like, I'm going ahead and go.
That makes me
Then
want to
I
ask
got
you
it.
a question. I gotta ask a question in between here. I hate to cut you off like that. I'm sorry. That you just said when you told him, "Nah, man, it's not hard." Do you really believe that? Like, I know in your situation,
Yeah,
you know, you
definitely.
lucked up and you know you got a job. Not even luck, your experience or whatever the case may been. I don't really want to use luck because that's taking something away from you. You got a job, but not everybody has that same outcome when they go fill out applications. They say that they constantly are trying and can't find work. Do you believe that to be true, or do you really think they aren't trying hard enough?
Ain't trying hard enough. You gotta try hard enough. You gotta be out there to get it. Like it's 10 times. Don't get me wrong. It's 10 times harder for a person with a felony to get a record. But if you show them people that you want to work, they're gonna give you the job. They're
Yeah,
gonna hire you.
yeah, yeah. I like that. I like that.
And the first day they're gonna ask you in the job interview, it's like, why should we hire you for? What can you do for us?
Mm-hmm.
Then you tell them what it is. Tell them and put it if they're gonna accept it or they're not. But
Yeah.
I tell 10, some of them will accept it. They're like, okay, bro, we'll give them a second chance, you know.
Right.
Let them start like. And like I said, I was proud. I was happy of mine, you know. And like I said, when I got my job at the temp agency, I really didn't like it because it was a temp job.
Right.
So it was only not permanent, not like that. So I was looking for something permanent in another avenue. So then I went and I applied for Lowe's Home Improvement.
Mm-hmm.
They hired me. I was pushing shopping carts, being a loader. $11.75 an hour.
Uh-huh. Do what you gotta do.
Constantly for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
They moved me up to $13 an hour. At $11.75 an hour, I got my own place. 800 something dollars,
Mm-hmm.
$823 monthly payment in rent, paying the electric bill, paying the water bill, paying the cable bill, all that stuff, and one whole paycheck making $11.75 an hour.
And this is an ex-felon, y'all. This is
Like
an
11
ex-felon. You know, some of y'all don't even have a record, and you need to get off your butt because you can. You go out there and make something of yourself.
Exactly, because it's plenty of places out there. Because I was telling at the time being, before I got my place, before I met my wife, I've been on her for a while. We've been together for almost 7 years now.
That's what's up.
When I met her, she was the first time she was walking her dog in Britain. I asked her to do a dog bite. She told me yes. Then the next thing you know, I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. I was scared to talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
So my uncle went to go talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when she gave my number. That's what she called me.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
I was scared to talk to her.
That was meant. She's your wife today.
And she's my wife today.
Did you, speaking of that, when it comes to people, not just her, but people, I mean, because I'm pretty sure you went through it with her as well, but family, did anybody shun you? Did like people make you feel a certain kind of way? Like, just because I got locked up don't mean that I'm a bad person. I did bad things. My behaviors were bad.
Only one person did that, and that was my daughter's mother.
Okay.
That was the only person. Everybody else didn't
Good.
do that.
Good. Because nobody, we're all full of sin or whatever word you want to use, you know, if you're not religious. Yes.
And I'm glad I met her. I'm glad I met my wife. You know, and she's been tremendously blessed with her family, been tremendous blessing to me and everything, you know.
That's what's up.
And I'm glad I met her, you know, and she's a real good woman. But getting back onto the subject now, it's easy. At the time being, I didn't really think that I can get my own place because I know I had bad credit and all that stuff. So God opened the avenue up for me. I went to go apply for the application. Mm-hmm. I waited like 2 weeks later. They called me. It was like, yeah, Mr. Coates, you got approved for your apartment. I'm like, see, what? You got approved for your apartment? I'm like, you lying? He's like, yeah. You come pick your keys up right next day and you come move in. I'm like, you serious? I'm like, yeah, serious. I hurry up and pack my stuff up. I called my wife. I'm like, hey, come pick me up. I gotta prove my apartment. She's like, say what? I gotta prove my apartment. And mind you, the whole time, my wife never stayed with me at all. She never stayed with me. I didn't play house, didn't do none of that. I stayed in that apartment by myself. 24/7 by myself.
Until you were ready to make her your wife.
Yeah, and she told me straight up, I'm not playing no house.
No, that's
I'm not moving in none of that.
right.
No, I come visit you, but I ain't come staying there. No.
Right.
I'm not even staying a night.
She put some standards. She set some standards. You know, I commend her.
She said, I ain't moving in till my last name matches yours.
Right. Hey, girl, that's right. That's a strong woman. I mean, because she wasn't playing no games with you. You know, you gonna either do this or you not. You know, but I'm not playing the games with you. She was for keeps, basically. She knew she was for keeps. So
exactly.
So y'all ended up getting married so what's going on with you now? Like what's up with you now?
Well, I like I said, I was working Lowe's Home Improvement for 3 years. I left Lowe's Home Improvement July 1st, 2019. And I transitioned over to a new job, which is RH Burger Distribution Company, which is called Budweiser. So I work for Budweiser, Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Natural Light, Corona, Modelo, Land Shark, you name it, I work for all of it.
And you're happy there?
Oh, I'm loving it here. I love it here. Love it. And I've been here for almost 3 years now.
That's
almost 3 years. Making $18.25 an hour.
That's what's up, man.
Overtime, I made $25.50 an hour.
And you be doing your daggone thing.
I be doing my own thing. And basically, I make my own schedule up. That's the one thing I'm happy about this job right here. Because I'm not on a 9 to 5 schedule no more.
Right.
So I clock in from my phone, and I can clock out from my phone when I'm done.
That's what's up. That freedom.
Yep.
So all this to say, you can get out and live a prosperous life.
Right.
And find your way back on that right path. You look at you. I mean, today, you know, you have a family and kids. You know, right. and doing and have never looked back.
Never look back. Nah. Never look back at all. And I remember before I came to this company right here, the head boss, he asked me, why should I hire you for? I told him, look, man, I know I did what I did in the past. I know you see that on my record, man. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you give me a shot, man, I won't let you down. I've been in this company for 2 whole years. I mean, 2 years and change. I mean, one day I was walking, I came in the office. He's like, you still here? Like, yeah, I'm still here. What you think I was gone? He said, I thought you would have quit by now. I'm like, nah, I'm still here. I was like, oh, it's like, well, yeah. I told him straight up, remember what I told you? I gave my word. I told you I ain't gonna let you down. That's exactly what I did. I ain't let him down.
That's what's up. You didn't let yourself down. That was more about yourself
because I just seen so many people in this company right now and switched over. It's only like maybe 5 veterans that's on my whole team, on the whole crew of 18 people. Everybody else is all brand new when I first started in 2019.
And you still hanging in, and I bet nobody would have thought the ex-felon is the one.
No way, the one that's hanging in. Everybody know I got felonies. Everybody know I'm still on probation. Everybody know that.
To me, like I said, I don't find any of it to be embarrassing because you look at me, that's me then. When you look at me now, don't worry about who I was then. That was just a piece of who I was.
You know? Who I am now? I'm like, I'm living large. Like, I ain't never had a felony day in my life.
That's what's up, man. I'm so
brand
proud.
New cars, brand new house. I'm like, come on now.
Who would have thought? Now, did you ever see yourself living this life those 5 years you were behind bars?
Tell you the truth, I never thought this. I never thought this at all. If I didn't make this move to come down here, because I know society up there when I was originally in the DMV, which is the DMV, which is the metropolitan area of
Yeah.
Washington, D.C., and the state of Maryland and Virginia, I would have been locked back up or I would have been dead.
So you feel like you would have taken a different path had you not left?
Exactly, because down here, like I say, down North Carolina, you don't have to worry about that down here. It's way more quiet. It's way more peaceful.
Mhm.
Ain't a lot of drama.
Well, you also
It's
can't be a
just-
follower because no matter where you
Yeah.
go, there's trouble that's there.
Yeah, that's the only way you find trouble down here is if you're looking for trouble.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now, like at home, you're gonna find trouble anywhere you go.
Do you understand?
They don't care if you stand at the bus stop. They'll rob you off the gate.
That is
They don't care. If you at the gas station, you with your grandma. They don't care. Keys in your hand. They don't care.
Trouble does tend to find you in a when you live the city life as opposed to being in a rural or suburban area. So I definitely agree with that. What advice would you give to anybody that's out there right now that's just getting out and maybe struggling?
Advice I can give you, man, is don't give up. Don't never get up. Don't never accept defeat, and don't never accept a no for an answer. You always go out there and continue to strive to get it. Make that goal. Like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I need to have done. This is what I'm trying to accomplish. This is what I'm going to accomplish. Don't never accept defeat. Don't never let nobody tell you that you can't make it. I thought I couldn't make it, but look at me now. I made it. I made it 100%. I made it. I'm still here.
That's
family. I got a house. Got a brand new car. I mean, I would never thought that this would all happen. I never thought all this happened. Never thought this would happen. I thought I was gonna be running up and down the streets, chasing women, chasing the drug gang, selling drugs and all that stuff. I'm like, nah, I had a family. I let all that go.
Yeah.
Once my daughter was born in 2009, it hurt me because I got locked up 4 days after she was born.
Mm-hmm.
For them 4 years, I missed out a whole tremendously lot for them 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I could have did better.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish I could have did better.
But at least you learn from it. That's
I learned from my actions.
You know, you don't get to get those 4 years back.
Yeah.
But you learn. And that's the joy of it, that, you know, we all make mistakes, and it's for nobody else to smush us down even more. You rose up from the ashes, and this is where you are now.
Yeah, that's where I'm at now. I'm
exactly. So I got one last question for you. Would you promise, I need you to do this for me right now. Would you promise to always be kind and treat people with respect in this world?
Surely will.
Awesome.
Surely will.
Awesome. Well, listen, I do appreciate you again for spending time with me this evening.